The year hung heavy, a smog-choked 78, clinging to the grimy brick of London's West End. David existed within its labyrinthine heart, nestled in the precarious embrace of a squat. The building, like him, was a forgotten thing, a husk haunted by the ghosts of former lives. But unlike the building, David's interior was far from empty. It pulsed with a strange, unsettling energy. His days were a muted routine of scavenging and existing, but his nights belonged to the occult. He devoured ancient texts, their brittle pages whispering secrets in forgotten tongues. He traced arcane symbols in the dust-laden air, seeking a flicker, a sign, anything to pierce the veil that separated the mundane from the other. It wasn't mere intellectual curiosity. It was a hunger, a desperate yearning to understand the unsettling whispers that danced at the edge of his perception. And he saw things, fleeting glimpses, shadows that stretched too long, faces that weren't quite faces lurking in the periphery, a shimmering distortion in the air, a cold spot that clung to him despite the summer heat. Things others dismissed as tricks of the light or the product of an overactive imagination fueled by cheap wine and sleepless nights. But David knew better. He felt the vibrations, the subtle shifts in reality that heralded these intrusions. He was a flawed antenna, picking up signals from a station no one else could hear. Unbeknownst to David, he wasn't alone in his awareness. He was a subject of intense scrutiny, a pawn on a chessboard he didn't even know existed. The department, as they were known in hushed whispers within certain shadowed corridors, had been tracking him for a decade. Their files on him were thick, meticulously compiled, detailing every facet of his life, no matter how insignificant it seemed. They possessed a complete inventory of his intellectual obsessions, a chilling testament to their reach. Every book he had borrowed from the labyrinthine shelves of the British Library from 1968 to that sweltering summer of 78 was catalogued, analyzed, and cross-referenced. They knew his preferred authors, his areas of interest, the gradual evolution of his esoteric pursuits. They saw the patterns in his choices, the subtle shifts in his focus, the breadcrumbs he unknowingly left behind. This wasn't just information gathering, it was a form of psychological mapping. They were meticulously charting the contours of his mind, understanding its vulnerabilities, its pressure points. They sought to decipher the intricate workings of his psyche, to predict his reactions, to anticipate his next move. And they had discovered something crucial, a vulnerability, a chink in his armor. They understood how his unique perception, his ability to see beyond the accepted reality, could be manipulated. They knew how to nudge him, to subtly influence his thoughts and actions, to guide him down a predetermined path. They couldn't completely control him, not yet. But they had a lever, a delicate instrument of influence that allowed them to exert a certain degree of control. He was a marionette, dancing to a tune he couldn't hear, his strings held taut by unseen hands in the shadows. The game had begun, and David was already losing.